Hi, I am Harsha. Last video I spoke about morality. The two parts of morality, yama and niyama. Psycho-physical movement, physico-psychic emanations. Physico-psychic movement, psycho-physical emanations. Yama and niyama. These two were the first two legs of Ashtanga Yoga. Yoga with 8 parts. The traditional, ancient and modern, because laws of nature don't change, and this is a discovery of those natures. So morality I started, and today I will begin with the first of those 10 points of yama. I had promised I would speak about the 7 secrets of success, but since these 7 points are themselves chapters in their own right, I would tend to get deviated, and I will deal with them once I finish these morality points. Since it's a continuous flow, let us continue with that. So the first point of this morality is non-violence or ahimsa. Ahimsa or non-violence. The definition in the true spirit of the term is not afflicting pain or hurt or on anybody by thought, word or action. So that is the meaning of ahimsa. By thought, word or action. Not afflicting any pain on anybody else. Now this needs proper understanding. This definition needs a proper explanation and understanding, because it does not mean that one cannot or should not protect himself from any harm, or he should be able to defend oneself. If it was not so, you would not be able to follow it up. Because you see, there was a time when even today there are a set of people like monks of Jain Dharma who follow extreme form of this ahimsa. They tie a cloth on their mouth so that they do not inhale any germ, so that it will kill them. If they have a wound, they will not heal it, because that they'll there is life in it. So these kind of things is not acceptable. Does not mean that. And therefore, we need to understand the laws of nature. If we observe the laws of nature, you will understand how it planned to maintain us. Okay? If you see in the living world, which includes animals and plants, they are categorized into 3 divisions for each individual, and it's different for form of life. Human beings have one. Let's say a reptile has another. The carnivore animal has another. The herbivore animal has another. And so on. The plants have another set of these three factors. And what are these three divisions? There is friendly, neutral, and inimical. This needs to be understood very clearly. What are the friendly ones? The friendly ones are obviously the ones which help us grow, which nurtures us, which do not harm us. They are friendly ones. Mostly all the vegetation, vegetables, everything is friendly. The green environment is friendly. In animal world, you have friendly animals like dogs, cats, the ones which are under control, which are immunized, vaccinated, not the wild ones. Horses, elephants. But animals are animals, they need to be the ones which are domesticated, are helpful to us, and they are our friends. So, no need to harm them. Then we come to the neutral animals, who can be both. For example, monkeys. A monkey can be very naughty. We have in cities. If you come to Jaipur, a place in India or in other places where there are temples, they are a nuisance sometimes. And so they need to be controlled. But in their own environment, they are all right. They don't harm you. They are living their own lives. So you leave them alone. Right? And there are a lot of animals which are neutral. You don't have to worry about them. Then comes the inimical ones. Now, which are these inimical ones? The inimical, you see, our human body has an immune system. Why? You know, the white cells of the body are supposed to be our immune systems. You get vaccinated. When I got vaccinated, it swelled up. It became hot. I got temperature. For a couple of days I was in that condition, and then it healed. So what happened? They injected a foreign body of an inimical bacteria, virus, into my body in a very small quantity. And my immune system fought against it and created an antibody which became permanent in my system. I got vaccinated for pox. Now I will not have pox my entire life because I am now immune to it. So what happened? There was a fight inside my body, and our defense system fought against that external attack and created a force, an antibody force, which protect me for life. So these are, inimical forces. You need to protect your body. You need to keep your environment clean. Otherwise, there is cholera. There is different kinds of flus, malaria from mosquitoes. These are inimical things. You need to keep your environment clean. You need to eliminate them. But there are certain things that are inimical to us, which are dangerous to us. For example, a snake. Now, a snake, if it comes inside your home and comes, there are these poisonous animals like spiders. In Australia, you have all these things entering your home. In South Africa, in our villages, where there's dense vegetation, people move around and these animals come in. So you need to Find out. In certain areas, there are these wild cats who have developed a taste for human beings because they are easy prey. And now they start attacking those innocent humans. So you need to create a protection. Maybe you need to eliminate such an animal. So you need to understand that snake, for example, if he comes in your environment, you need to protect yourself. But no need to go into his environment to destroy it. It has a right to survive. It balances the environment. It eats rats and so on. There's a food chain. There are these lizards, obnoxious creatures for many, but it eats all the pests, insects, keeps it clean. Ants, they can be a nuisance. You keep anything on your table and you find after a while a lot of ants have come and spoiled the whole thing. So you need to keep your environment clean. Make sure that they don't enter. Keep your pesticide, insecticides and all that done inside your home. But no need to kill the ants in their own environment. Because they are natural scavengers. So you need to understand this whole living world in these three categories and behave accordingly. Then comes within the human beings, the same three categories. We humans have an independent willpower. We are not animals, typically. We have evolved from them, but we have what is called as willpower. That means we can decide our own course of actions. We are not controlled by the seasons. That a season comes and the dog or the animal goes into mating mode. Or it eats only when it's hungry. This kind of things are not there. It doesn't do hoarding. But human beings are not like that. We are complex people, and over a time we have become more and more complex. Today you see human beings behaving in a very dangerous animalistic manner. There is poverty in the world. Most of it is created by man. They create purposely. There are these big organizations and powerful people who create shortages. They do adulteration. Political parties, they create social unrest. Recently there was one in my area. And then it continued for a while because of vested interests. People get killed. Now these are inimical people. There are friendly people, like NGOs are there. There are, so a lot of individuals. There was Mother Teresa, who had no personal gain interest except then they wanted to help people. My guru was there. He did huge. And I'm here because of his reason. He created me. And this is why I say that I don't have any personal grudge, personal demand. You see, as a monk, when I used to teach people meditation, there was a clear instruction that I could not ask for any monetary gains or any kind of personal gains. Because this is not my property, that is his property, the Almighty's property. It is the right of every individual to get it. So, in human beings, there are again three categories: friendly, and neutral, and inimical. And it is the inimical part which you need to understand more closely. You need to have what is called as power of discrimination. And that is why meditation is important. Because it helps one another. You need power of discrimination to help others. And in order to get that power of discrimination, properly developed, to be able to see clearly, you need to meditate. So that is why, because the meditation, what it does, it opens up the layers of mind. It cleans the mind's layers. Mind is, they say, is like a banana flower. If you've seen one, you have to peel one layer to see the inside layer of the saplings, the banana. Each time you play, you have to keep peeling. Then only you can enter inside. Similarly is mind. Mind has layers. I will tell you about those. There are 7-8 layers of mind. And one of the layers, though, I think the 4th layer is Vijnanmay Kosh, which contains the power of, which controls, wherein lies the power of discrimination. And this power of discrimination is in a sleeping state in most of the people, because they only see things from their perspective, from their point of view, their personal point of view. And that can be defective most of the times. You need to see the world, this creation, from the cosmic angle, from above, where you are one of the players as well. So that comes from meditation. We need to understand one more thing, that we need to have a proper way of thinking. We need to develop, understand, contemplate on this aspect, that just as my life is dear to me, similarly the life of another created being is also dear to it. In the light of this truth, evolved human beings feel mercy for each and every object of this created world. You need to have a feeling of mercy. I will share with you one personal tragedy of my life. When I was a youngster, maybe 12, 13 years old, I was fond of shooting, We used to get an air rifle and practice on targets. And I was a good shot. I was a very good shot. And then I got interested in moving targets. And what better a moving target than a bird or a squirrel or some kind of an animal on the tree, small thing. Without realizing the extent of my actions, one day I got hold of a rifle. And I quietly brought it home. It was my friend's gun. And that particular day, I must have killed maybe, 70, 80 birds. I must have destroyed their lives. Squirrels here, there. And fortunately, my mother saw me doing this. Now, my mother was a great spiritualist, and she was one of the reasons why I am what I am today. My parents have played a huge role in bringing me up in a upright manner with spiritual values. That day, my mother took a very strange and a very powerful action with me, against me, whatever way. You see, my grandfather was a government official of India. During the period when India was getting its freedom from British Raj. And there was this unfortunate incident of situation called partition. There was a partition between two communities, Hindus and Muslims, and Pakistan was created at that time. My grandfather was posted in Delhi at that time, and there were huge riots taking place. He was in charge of the protection of the Muslim area. He was a Hindu, he was in charge. And he was a very upright person. I am told that he had imposed a very strict situation where nobody could harm the Muslims of that area. As it happened, naturally he became an enemy for certain Hindus of my own community. And at night when he was climbing into his car, somebody shot him from the bushes and escaped. He was never caught. Who shot? Nobody knows. Those days the medical facilities was very, very inadequate and poor. And my grandfather, he was brought to the hospital, but he had lost a huge quantity of blood. And he was desperate to save because of his family. And he was telling the doctor, please save me. I have a family to take care of. My family is very poor. He came from a very poor background. And being honest, obviously those days there was no corruption and taking money, bribes and all that. Those days were pure days. And the family was surviving only on his salary, which was very small. So he was desperate to save himself. And this was recorded by my grandmother. Recorded means noticed. But he couldn't survive and he passed away. And this is what my mother reminded me of that day when I was caught shooting innocent animals for pleasure. She told me that you have killed maybe one partner of the bird. Now what will the other partner do? You have destroyed families. And I was actually innocent in that sense. And I was aghast. It hit me. From that day onwards till to date, I have not picked up a gun for pleasure. Yes, I picked up for, like I said, an inimical animal. I live in a farm. Life and death goes together. So I never did kill any animal because I understood the pain of that. It was a neutral animal. It was a friendly animal. Why should I kill it? I cannot kill it. But I did at that time, and probably I have paid for it. Here I must say, for those people, that it is not a sin to eat meat. For those who are carnivore people who eat non-vegetarian food, it's all right. There is a saying in Sanskrit, Jeev Jivasya Bhojanam. One life feeds another. You cannot eat stone. So I will talk about the food part in the 7 secrets of success, because food is one of it. And I'll explain to you what food is should be preferred by whom. So as far as feeding yourself is concerned, it is acceptable. But where it comes to fun and games, to go shooting and get pleasure out of it, that is not acceptable. Should not be accepted. So I will conclude here. that Ahimsa was practiced by Mahatma Gandhi. Ahimsa is a way of thinking. And as you evolve, you see, today I've seen that it is very difficult for me to harm somebody even when that person is slightly inimical to me. So what normally the reaction should be, in my opinion, is Prativad, Pratirodh, Pratishodh. Prativad is first step is you should object verbally. If that state does not influence that individual or that group or whatever, then you should physically obstruct it. Do not harm. Do not pick up a arm or something like that. Show a little bit of force of resistance. But despite that, if something does not happen and it is the way of people, then in the democratic world, in the world of this, when you realize that you are being exploited very badly, destruction is coming to your society, to your environment, by all means we need to oppose it. For the benefit of our society, our children, our grandchildren, and future of this planet. Thank you very much. And I'll talk to you on the second point, which is called truth or Satya, in my next video. Thank you. Have a good day.